back.
Cool.
Welcome back, Husker Nation. It's been a historic day. We're recording this Sunday night, a couple hours after the firing of our previous coach, Scott Frost. Was not expecting it to be this soon. I thought they would give him the weekend at least, but I guess Trev has had enough, as have all of us. So, all right. Immediate thoughts, right off the rip. Andy, what are you thinking when you heard the news?
I heard the news. A little smile came on my face. Going into yesterday, I still had a little bit of hope for Scott Frost. After the game, I was completely over it. You guys aren't going to see it. We filmed a whole podcast that was kind of focused around the idea of what is Scott Frost's future. Obviously, that's totally irrelevant now. That's why we're in the studio again, filming another one. But after the game last night, I kind of lost all hope. I was ready for the next chapter. I was surprised to see it come before the Illinois game to save us the money. In my head, that just means a few donors stepped up and said, let's get him out of here now. We're done with this. But overall, right decision, in my opinion. I think 90% of Husker fans also agree that it's the right opinion. I think Husker Nation is overwhelmingly happy with this decision. The suffering is finally over. Although there's nothing to look forward to this season, there's nothing to be scared of anymore. That's how I look at it. Carson, where are you at?
Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, woke up this morning, definitely not expecting a firing. At the very most, expecting something this week. Definitely not some big dick shit like Trev Alberts announcing at 11 o'clock the next day. But it turns out that way. And we'll talk about the press conference too. Announcing the firing of Scott Frost with Mickey Joseph coming in as the interim. It makes total sense to me now that I've been able to think about it a little more. Because, I mean, going into this Oklahoma game, it was not going to work out where we were going to, one, sell out the stadium and two, have passionate fans if Frost was still around. Like we said, we were at the game, at the Georgia Southern game, and that was a surreal place to be. I was talking to Cam about this earlier. Cam was the guy that did our video for us last year. Y'all were around for that Stock Talk Nation, but I was telling him that it is by far the most surreal stadium experience I've ever experienced. Everyone was super dull, super quiet, not knowing how to act. Half the stadium walking out was chanting "Fire Scott Frost." We were walking over the bridge at the end, and it was just dead. And Curry and I were like the only ones having fun and laughing and like smiling. Like it was just so surreal to look around. Like it was just dead. So it was definitely the right call. I'm excited to see what the future holds because I think it means that Mickey Joseph is going to be able to take reign a little bit. And I think with this kind of losing the head coach thing, I think just historically it means your team's going to play a little looser and care a little less. So it might turn out to be definitely for the better. If anything, it bumps my win total on the year than it does drop it. Like I think this will be a breath of fresh air. Hopefully the players will know that they care, that the people care now. Because I mean, we were talking about this in our post game yesterday. Sorry, I've been kind of going, but we were talking about this in our post game yesterday, and it was tough. It's tough walking away from that game because you're not mad at the players. They play hard. They've got talent. Like Casey's great. Our offense is looking great. Even the defensive players. It hasn't been ideal this year, but damn, they definitely are. You can tell they care, and they've got the talent there. And it all starts with the coaches. And yeah, the only blame you can place is on them. So yeah, it's weird, but it's good. It was needed. He wasn't the guy. So yeah, I kind of went on for a minute there, but I don't know. What do y'all think of that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad that the video from last night didn't get posted because I used some really colorful language just because I was at that point, with the Scott Frost era and with Scott Frost being our coach and losing to Georgia Southern. I mean, who are they? Who is that? We've never even heard of them, and so to lose to that team, and I was just at my breaking point, and so I was really shocked that it happened Sunday morning. But
Didn't even let the man go to church.
Yeah, seriously. But at the end of the day, I'm really happy with this call. This again just shows that Trev Alberts is the guy. He's the guy who should be up there orchestrating all the coaching and all the athletics and everything like that, because he obviously knows what he's doing. And this is just proof of that again. And so I'm excited to see who he takes on, because he has my full trust. Trev Alberts said in a press conference today just that we need to start back at square one. We need to stop remembering the championships and the bowl games and everything else like that, and then holding the team and the coaching to that expectation. This is back from square one. I mean, this is going to be a completely new coaching staff, completely new team that we're going to be seeing from here on out. So I'm really excited to see where things go. It's kind of disheartening to see. It's been disheartening to see kind of where the Husker program is at. And you could take this both ways. You could take this the route of, we're going to suck, this is going to be a terrible season, or, it's just going to be a throwaway season, or this is going to be a season to build off of and improve and become a whole new program that's going to be dangerous down the road. And I remember saying that in a podcast. I don't know if it ever got posted towards the end of last season with my expectations down this road for this 2022 season. But again, square one for Husker Nation. I'm very excited for it. I'm choosing the optimistic route, so hopefully that's the outcome.
We got to change.
Yeah, we got to change there for sure. But
Curry with optimism. Wow.
Real quick off of what you had to say there, Curry, if you don't mind.
Yeah, totally.
I think the biggest thing, looking at this, like the whole Trev Alberts thing, is this is the first hire he's going to have where he has full say. His entire legacy matters now because this is his hire. He came here with Frost already hired. So now he gets his shot to kind of shape what he wants Nebraska football to look like. If this next guy is a bum, too, or whatever wording you want to use, if he's not the guy again, that goes up to him, and he's out of here. That'll really help his coaching search, and I think it'll really solidify the fact that I think we're going to probably land a pretty solid guy. Because we have to, because he cares about his job at this point.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing I took away. I thought he said all the right things. I mean, he's a politician. You can just tell he's got perfectly slick hair, like he answers everything perfectly. And yeah, I think he gets the weight of it. He says everything right. It was good to hear that it won't be a big issue in the future with donors. Like we're going to be able to get top market compensation for whatever coach we need. Like this buyout means nothing. If anything, it means that Nebraska's true to their word or whatever he said at the beginning. Like we're not going to try to negotiate down that $7 million buyout or whatever it is. So that was great to hear too. So yeah, everything has been done right so far.
Right.
Sorry if I kind of interjected.
No, you're good. No, I definitely. And playing off of that too, it's great to see that I fully trust Trev and understand why he kept Frost around and did what he did when he did it, because like you said, he's a politician, so he's playing the long game, So I'm really, really excited to see who he's going to bring on. He has my full trust. He's doing what he's doing for the better of the program, and that's what I love to see. He's not doing it for the emotions of the fans or the emotions of the players or the coaching staff or anything like that. Which as a fan, I'm really happy about. Obviously, I'd be terrified if I was a coach right now or someone in the coaching staff realm right now. But yeah, yeah, do you have anything to add on to that? Or
just to kind of catch back up to where you guys were at, one of the things that really hit home that Carson said, after the game last night, I was very down in the dumps, and you kind of touched on this. Our emotions were high. There was nothing good to say about the game besides our offense looked great, which we should against Georgia Southern. Emotions were very high, and if anything, Frost gone maybe raises my win total in my predictions by a couple of wins. It only brings me more hope because after last night, I really was convinced that we'd be lucky to win another game. Like Carson said, we now have nothing to lose anymore. If our players want to treat it like a throwaway season and don't give effort, they have that option, but that's not Nebraska. That's not the attitude in the locker room from the players. So I really believe that we can only gain from this. We can't get any worse than where we were at, so I feel very good about this. Maybe a little bit of benefit.
Yeah, and this will show which players are really committed to the Husker M or not. The kids that are going to stick around and try hard for Mickey Joseph, those are the kids that are going to be huge for the next guy. So, like, with anything like this, there's always going to be transfer portal rumblings and stuff. Like, there's going to be people that hop in the portal. So be it, whether there's a new coach or not. But we'll figure out who are the next culture builders for this team. And yeah, if it means that they play a little bit looser, they feel like people are looking out for them now, because that was kind of what Trev Alberts was saying too. He was like, these kids need, it was kind of what he opened up. He was like, these kids need something fresh. They need new perspective, These kids have had the same thing for a while, all the super seniors. Like, it would not be right for me to not fire him. Like, we need to switch it up right now. And yeah, I just thought that made so much sense. I think it was very well executed. Nothing really didn't make sense. Mickey Joseph was obviously better than Mark Whipple. You can tell he just wants to manage a little bit of an offensive game. He's older now. You can tell Mickey Joseph is more like that fiery, passionate guy that'll probably end up being a head coach somewhere at a very good school. I mean, if not us, if we somehow finish out with it, It was really interesting in the podcast. He was like, everything now is up to Mickey Joseph now, as far as like what he wants to do with his personnel. I thought that was pretty crazy that he threw that out. Like, as if saying, somebody even asked him later, they were like, do you mean like shifting like coaches around and stuff? And he's like, yes. I don't know of anything yet now, but Mickey Joseph has that option if he'd like. I thought that was wild. That was probably the most wild thing that stood out. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but he was basically like, yeah, if Mickey Joseph doesn't want Mike Dawson at D-line, then, I don't think it'll ever come to that, but that was really fascinating to hear. Yeah, we'll be able to. This is going to be. The Band-Aid has already been ripped off for the Husker fan base, for everyone. Like, no one is. We're not soaking in our wounds, or whatever that saying is. Like, we get it. It's we want, but we're okay with building back, and if it takes a long time, that's all right. We've already been there. Like, we were talking about this yesterday on the podcast. Like, it was so dead last night in the bottoms. And last year around now, those nights where we were losing games, the Michigan game, the Ohio State game, even the Purdue game, we were playing tight, it was still popping. There was still spirit in the town of Lincoln. Yesterday it was like, I don't know, yesterday it was like people finding out, I don't know, like,
it was just like, what happened?
That 9/11 happened for the first time. Like, they were like, what? Like, it was just like so, like, it was so just weird. I don't know. But it was just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we're totally okay with building back. And Mickey Joseph is going to be great, just fresh start for that. And I think it's huge for recruiting. We could not have waited any longer. It's going to be huge for this week to keep that sellout streak. Like I started at the beginning, like, yeah, it was just a great decision overall. And I think, kind of like I think Andy said, or maybe you agree, like 90%, if not 99% of Husker Nation is behind this call. Everyone's behind this call. It had to happen at this point.
Yeah.
For some people, it just took longer, and yeah. But now everyone, yeah.
Yeah, I think going into next week, Memorial Stadium's going to have a different energy, honestly, because it seemed like all the anger and the silence and the lack of cheering was all reflected on Scott Frost still calling the plays. Every time we made a mistake, everyone kind of looked around and went, God, this Scott Frost guy is beating ourselves right now. He's the one who's digging our hole even deeper. And I can only imagine all that anger's gone now. And maybe next week there's a little different energy down in Lincoln. I'm not saying we beat Oklahoma. Obviously anything's possible now that we have nothing to lose. I just think it's going to be a totally different energy down there, and people are going to be just more let back, more having fun. We're still not thinking about, is Frost going to prove himself? Can he turn this year around? It's not about that anymore. It's about what can we turn the rest of this season into? What's the future of Nebraska football? We have 9 games left. Let's enjoy them. It's just college football at this point. We have no expectations now. We just get to sit back and enjoy college football for the rest of the year.
And that's what I think a lot of Husker fans are going to struggle with, because I like that Trev Alberts announced, or like kind of stated this in his press conference, just that like we need to stop having national championship expectations going into seasons from here on out. Like that doesn't help the program, that doesn't help our moral state, that doesn't help the players, that doesn't help the coaching. I mean, it's just like, as a fan base, it sucks because we've been there, and like our parents like grew up with that, and so then they like kind of put that into our younger generation of like, oh, we're a good football team, and we haven't been a good football team. And so it's just not healthy for the whole program as a whole. And so I'm glad that he kind of stated that and wanted us to realize that his expectations are not a national championship, are not a bowl game right out the gate. So I think we as fans need to appreciate that and understand that and just accept the fact that we're literally starting from square one again. And yeah, but I kind of wanted to hop into kind of what some of our predictions are.
Real quick off of that.
Yeah,
totally. Kind of off of that thing where you were like, we gotta drop this whole national championship expectation. He was like, we need to focus on winning the line of scrimmage. Kind of listed off the things that good Big Ten West teams do, and like, thank God someone gets it. Like, that is how you win in the Big Ten West. You do not. It's nothing flashy. It's beating Northwestern on the line. It's those 6-inch plays. It's winning the small margins.
Yeah.
Every team in the Big Ten West plays that brand of football, and you might squeak one win out here and there against every single one of those programs, and you might even beat Ohio State one year when you played some team in the East. But over a long stretch of time, you are not going to be doing as well as if you focus on those fundamentals, and really did focus on those fundamentals from the get-go. And that's kind of what he went off of after that. I was going to say one more thing. Shoot, I forgot. I'll see if I remember. What were we going to say, Curry?
I was just going to hop right into our predictions for head coaches right now, because I know that's what a lot of Twitter's been predicting, and a lot of other people have been. There's been rumors, I know, and like other stuff like that. So I just wanted to hop right into that and kind of see what our predictions were right off the rip.
Who's our favorite? I got mine.
Real quick. Hold
on. Like who would be your favorite? And then yeah, obviously who you really think it would be.
My favorite kind of just depends on how the rest of this season goes, because I think if Mickey Joseph has a good finish to the season, why not give him a chance? I like sticking with someone in the program already. I think we had some great chemistry within the coaching staff, and Scott Frost was kind of just dragging the morale and overall energy of the team down. I think we already have great connections within that room, and if Mickey Joseph can scrap something together of this season, why not give him a shot? It's going to be a rebuilding process anyway. No big name is going to turn us around in 1 or 2 years. That's not how this works. I like Mickey Joseph, assuming we can scrape together a few wins.
Yep. Yeah. I'd say first of all would be definitely Luke Fickell. I think he's really proven how to create a great team. I mean, they went to the playoff last year. They're a group of 12 team. He's got a great demeanor about him. You can just tell that they work hard and they care and they put in the effort and they don't beat themselves up a lot. So he would be number one. And this is what I was going to say earlier, and this kind of works with what I'm talking about now, but I was watching something today, kind of a breakdown of kind of what we're doing right now, but with someone else's channel. And they were saying how this guy that was on this podcast was saying that he's met Trev Alberts before. And Trev Alberts before said that when he first met Scott Frost, he was curious what the hiring process was for USC and for Nebraska. And for both of those jobs, he said that he wasn't quite ready for either job, but he went for it either way. And so I think that showed that, yes, he had tremendous confidence and he looked the part 100%. Scott Frost is like this. There could be a documentary on how Scott Frost played the look game for 4 years at Nebraska. Because if you look at statistically, he sucked. But he was the forgotten son, the Frost era, like all of the pageantry to it. He's big. He's got like he looks the part. He's got like the V taper. He wears suits. He puffs his chest out. Like he was going to be the guy. And then you look at his results, and he was awful. And so that just showed me that he was overly confident. And what we need is a guy that is truly proven at making a great football system. And so I'm thinking, Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell, I think it would be great. I think he'd get a little bit more recruiting than he does at Iowa State. And I think that would be huge for him, especially if he keeps this current offensive staff, which is probably better than his at Iowa State. I'm not sure. Maybe Gary Patterson. I don't know. But ideally, Luke Fickell. I don't really want Urban Meyer. I don't think he'll come either. I think it's slightly too difficult. I think his next job would probably be in a place where he can go where recruiting is essentially given to him, where he can get all of his talent out of his backyard, kind of like that whole thing they were talking about in the Texas game, where it's like you can find a whole 22-man roster that are 5-stars here in the backyard of Texas, USC, and Florida. He'd probably go back to one of those jobs again. So it'd be a little bit too difficult for him, but bottom line, I think that we're going to come out with a pretty damn good coach because we're going to be able to pay him. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think if we really turn up and Mickey Joseph is really that guy, and we pull out a win against Minnesota, who is probably currently the favorite in the Big Ten West right now because Wisconsin lost, Northwestern lost, Iowa's trash, Purdue looks decent, Illinois looks decent, so Minnesota's probably the favorite. If we pull out like a win there, we beat Illinois, if we get a little bit of momentum going, and it's because Mickey can kind of light a fire in our players, and we beat Iowa, yeah, I would be open to giving him around too,
Hey.
But I don't know if he's exactly the perfect long-term play.
Real
We kind of
quick,
need someone proven.
we got about 5 minutes before Zoom shuts us
But yeah,
down. So,
I say we go off of that. I think we can get it done.
Curry?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, Curry?
So I saw a tweet that said when Mickey was announced the head coach that there was like a loud uproar and like a lot of enthusiasm with the players. So that's really, really good to see and hear. Okay, personally for me, I think it's too early to start talking about possible candidates right now. I want to see what Mickey Joseph can do right now since he's already been involved in the program, and obviously the players like him and they're confident in him being the HC. So I'm happy about that. I want to see what he can do. I want to see how he can play against Oklahoma. I want to see how he can play against Big Ten defenses and offenses. Yeah, I want to dip my toe in the water a little bit before I just jump right into it. So I'm confident in Mickey. I want to see what he can do, and just kind of go from there.
Piggybacking off that, I have seen a couple things on Twitter as well. Basically, just about every reporter is trying to get their name in the spotlight and break a headline. So basically, as Husker fans, we should expect to see a rumor of every single one of the coaches on the top 15 list that ESPN just posted as most likely to come to Nebraska. We're going to see a different...
something?
I believe it was
ESPN
ESPN or someone posted a list of all the most likely candidates for the job. Essentially, every week a different reporter is going to say that, according to sources, this is who Nebraska's targeting to be their next head coach.
Yeah.
It's going to switch every week. People are just trying to get a headline. We just need to stay patient as Husker Nation. We're going to know when we're close. We're going to know what feels right.
Yeah, and Trev Alberts even said that too. He was like, "Yeah, guys, you're gonna hear rumors of me reaching out to a lot of coaches. That doesn't mean that I want them to be the coach. It might mean that I need their advice on something. Like I am the AD at Nebraska. Like I can talk to pretty much whoever I want. Essentially, is what he was saying. So yeah, kind of going off what you guys are saying. Yeah, we should not look into much. Just trust the process and just know that they made the first right decision. I guess. Do we want to just give like quick? Unless you guys want to say something?
I was thinking we just wrap it up with record predictions. We got 9 games left.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick.
It's so tough. Literally every week plays off the last now.
Yeah. Where I'm at, we're at 1 win. Looking at our schedule, we got a little poster up on the wall. I know we got some dogs on the field. We're going to have a fresh energy. I still think Oklahoma's good. I'd love to beat them. I think it's going to be tough. But I think we beat Indiana and Rutgers. And then Iowa's playing terrible football. So I'm thinking 4-8. And then maybe if we beat Indiana and Rutgers, we have a little momentum going into Purdue, and we beat Purdue as well. Maybe 4-8, 5-7. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like 4-8. I agree. I think Rutgers is a win for us. I think Indiana's a win for us, and I think we'll squeeze it out at the end with Iowa. So, quick 4-8 schedule and get straight to work after that. But yeah.
Yeah. So last night, how long we got, Andy?
We got about 2 minutes.
Okay. So last night we did kind of a record prediction too, and half of us were 2-10, half were 3-9. With the news this morning, I guess we're feeling a little better because I am too, honestly. I would go Rutgers, Indiana, or Dubs, because honestly, I think that we can play their type of football. I think Georgia Southern was a pretty good team. I think we learned a lot in the Northwestern game. Like we said, we're going to have a little bit more spirit in us. We're going to be able to play a little bit more, play fast, play flowy, because we're not going to be overthinking it much. Because like Big Ten West championship is not on the line anymore. So yeah, I'm going to go two dubs there. Now I'm willing to throw in maybe one dub, Minnesota, Purdue, or Wisconsin, just because they're not super proven, and we might be able to pull one out if they play slow and our offense is hitting that day. And then I think Iowa is a dub because they're not great this year, but also we do always play them tight. So yeah, I'm feeling 4-8, 5-7, which at this point you got to be okay with.
And that's better than last year too. It's crazy to say that is progress.
Yeah, but we're taking baby steps here. So
baby steps.
Yeah. So should we wrap this up, boys?
Husker Nation, it's been a really good therapy session.
It has.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Just some raw feelings on kind of the state. Just building back slowly. I don't know.
Feeling happy. I'm feeling better. Feel better after that.
Yeah.
Weight off the chest for sure.
Good therapy session. Yeah.
It needed to happen. Yep, exactly. Weight off the chest. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. Getting this out soon, and please like and subscribe, comment, let us know what you think, and we'll be tweeting at you soon.
Yep. Stock talking on Twitter.
See ya.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, Husker Nation.
Let's ride. All right, that was legit.
Yeah, that was good.
Sweet, man.
Hasn't kicked me out yet, actually.
Ooh. How are we feeling about NFL Week 1, boys?